George, a 10-year-old ginger cat, was born and raised in Sydney, Australia, where he cohabitated with Fiona, his owner. Due to her ill health, Fiona was forced to go back to Ireland in March. She made the decision to leave George with her neighbor, since she anticipated making a quick trip back to Australia to see her pet. Sadly, her health made it impossible for her to do so. Fiona's former neighbors moved out, leaving poor George all alone while she tried to come up with a new scheme to get him to Ireland. Without a place to call his own, George became lost roughly 20 kilometers from his former home. Fortunately, some kind locals used his microchip to find him and brought him to a veterinarian in Sydney. George was forced to live in a tiny cage and was only permitted outside briefly during the day due to space constraints. Fiona knew she had to return her cat home, but she didn't have enough cash to pay for the airfare to transport George all the way back to Ireland. Then some of Fiona's pals intervened. To raise the $1,300 required for the cat's flight, they decided to start a GoFundMe campaign. They asked people to donate as much as they could to help bring George home. The center cautioned that they wouldn't be able to keep him for very long because no one had expressed interest in adopting him. The team received a charge from the rescue center for roughly €2,000 to pay George's boarding and other expenses just as they were about to raise enough money for the aircraft ticket. The campaign needed to be intensified. Fortunately, though, the donations kept coming in. Finally, they were able to raise the necessary funds for George's voyage. George was placed on a flight home yesterday. He arrived at the airport many hours later, where Fiona and the campaign's coordinators picked him up. Fiona was ecstatic to finally catch up with George. It's practically a miracle to have him back. Fiona still couldn't believe it. He is with her again. Thanks for watching.